What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey and it's Shakira. And yes, I'm wearing my Keep Me Warm shirt. Actually, I can probably take it off. It's warmed up a bit. And yes, I do wash the shirt. So shush you. You don't know. Still a little cool. But anyway, um, I figured since the markets are kind of slow today and we're kind of sitting in the same place right now, Dixie is strolling back up again to eat up its imbalances. And as such, Bitcoin is kind of a little something something down, but we're going sideways. That's all it is. It's just sideways. Ethereum, same thing. We've been hanging out in this space since yesterday. Uh, which reminds me, I need to get logged into my Big Get as well. So I apologize for that. Um, okay. So I figure since things are a little slow and my BitGet demo account only allows for Bitcoin, Ethereum, or EOSS, I'm gonna do this test thing without actually putting an actual trade in like I did yesterday. Am I still logged in? I am not. Okay, so we won't look at that. But I did have a pretty sweet setup last night on Ethereum, which I've been trading mostly lately. And at 13:11, right around here. And let me just show it to you really quickly. Let's go into the 15-minute. And all right, so this is from last night. Okay, so here, first of all, took a look to the left. Always take a look to the left. Let me just move that out of the way. And let me move this up, make some space. Okay. Okay. So took a look to the left, and we had this lower area here. This is a really weak break, and we haven't been able to push up above it, right? So once I saw that this didn't go anywhere, technically, and we're inside of a star flip area here as well. So technically, if I'd been really paying attention to it, and I kind of was, you could have taken, I saw this bullish engulfing, and this is a good place to take a short from, like down to the next level. So what I did was I put in, and actually what you could have done as well is go into the 2 minute or something like that at that same space and found yourself a nice break with a potential entry. Um, I had been looking at this from above, so is that first? Oopsie. Sometimes when I'm looking at the stuff, when I go into the 2 minutes, it's hard to tell. Too close. Hold on. Let me go back to the 15 and just get my head on straight. And let's just replay this back to this, and then that way, when I'm in the 2 minute, I can see what I need to see. All right. So once you saw that it couldn't break, it broke this, yes, but it didn't continue, right? So my expectation at the time was if it was going to do it, it was going to do something like this, break, um, break above it, retest it, and then continue on up. And sorry, it's a little hard to see. Let me set the auto on this way. So, um, and this would be further up, and then a retrace, and then continue, right? But it didn't do that. It got stuck at this SR flip area, which is a nice one. Rejected, almost. It rejected it. If we go back even further, we can probably find some more rejections, but we should probably do that on the higher time frames because 2 minutes is too chaotic. Okay, so then it did this. Then we had this lower break area here. So what I saw was that my entry with this juicy little end back here, you could have entered anywhere here from 13:13, and I actually entered in at 13:11, like right here. Um, 13:11. I set my stop limit order to get me in here, about right here, approximately. So right there. Oops, wrong tool. My bad. Don't judge me. But anyway, if you'd set this, then you should have set your thing here. And then I wrote it down to 12. 92.8, something like that. Okay. And my stop loss was at 13.19 there, and I actually entered at 13.11. So let me bring it back down. So approximately around there. And then I went to bed. I mean, literally, that's what I went to bed. I went to bed. So then, that played out somewhat nicer than I thought it would. And when I got up in the morning, the trade had closed out. I made 6.58%, and that was like $24, 24 USDT on the tiny lot I was playing with. Now, if I'd seen this, if I was awake and I'd seen it wick out here and then start climbing, I might have exited here because I'm still working on that mindset. But, it eventually, thank God I was sleeping and I couldn't like obsess about it. So it played itself out. And actually, let me pause and put this back to 15 because that's annoying to watch. Let's play. And then bam, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. Just beautiful. Okay, so I'm 2 for 2 yesterday, which is the bomb.com. 2 for 2. Anyway, so remember what I said, guys. I'm gonna do 30 of these. If the process works, then I'm gonna start putting my money on the line. Not a lot because I'll be dumb. So my Bitget account only has like a small amount in it. So I'm gonna use that and see if I can double it. I'm not putting a time limit on that. Just can I double it? Right? Okay, so just wanted to share that with you. And just to note, if you see your setups, and you've got good confluences, don't be scared to get into that trade. All right. Because that's what I'm trying to get over right now is that fear to get into that trade. All right. So let's see if we can figure out something interesting as well. All right. So I'm going to hit the replay button on this and close my eyes. And I'm just going to randomly swing back and forth, and then click. Okay. All right. So Matic on the daily. As usual, let's make sure we have our trend marked out and lots of good and juicy touches. Oops. Yeah, that was probably not right. I like these trend lines to be red and thick and a full line. Also, I get my glasses on so I can see better. Don't get old, y'all. Or don't let your eyes get older. Like, whatever vitamins you need to take to keep them nice and good, take them. I need to go find myself some as well. All right, so got this touch, that one, some nice confirmations, a little fake breakthrough. Good. All right, I'm gonna pull this down a little bit. Cool. All right. And given that looks like this is all the last place Matic was. Ooh, that's a level. And let's just drop that. We got that touch. Looks like it floated around it for a while. Ugh, that's gross. I hate floating levels. They're the worst. Don't trade them, okay? Wait for your friend. Okay, now we're going to go down to the 4 hour and see what we're looking at. Okay, we don't have anything on here. No, nothing. All right, so, all right. I'm going to add in my favorite indicators. All right, so the fair value gap. So I can see all of the breaks and my higher low or higher high, lower low. That's my fave. And I'm just going to drop my imbalance finder in here too because I like that. Uh, and potentially the fair value gap. Oh, it's not the one I want. I'm sorry, guys. It's definitely not the winner. FVG, that's what I want. Perfect. Good. Now, these things only tell me where the imbalances are, where the market structure breaks are, or the breaker structures. And the FVG is nice, even though I have the imbalance finder on here with the yellow, it does tell me that is great. But the FVG will tell me like at what time frame the imbalance is from. So 4 hour along with the current time frame, daily, so on. It's very helpful because that tells me how strong that imbalance is going to be, right? Cool. All right. So what do we have that you say? So we're on a downtrend, but on the 4 hour, we just went on an uptrend, hit uh, a wall, and we're bouncing off of said wall. So if this is going to continue, what I'm thinking is this, right? Because this is like an obvious empire. One, two, I'll call that as a retrace. So I'm looking for this. I'm looking for this, come back to retest about here because that's where we were last, and then continue down to the next level, which is about here, and then retest this one, and then down to this level, something like that. All right. Okay. So other things that make me feel comfy about it not trying to break above, right? We got all these long wicks up here. It try to break up. It's um, definitely rejected it from that level. Then we have, it's not the best break. It did close below it. So do have this supply area with, I think this is an order block. And let's double check that with the fair value thing, right? Yeah, so yeah, it's just a different order block. So green, which is a demand order block, yellow is supply order block. So we have a high order block, and then we have the bullish one. I suspect this one is a failed order block. So price popped up into that order block, dropped again. So maybe, hmm. So if anything, it might come back here because, well, it already has. It's wick. Look at that. It's wick. Okay, let's go to 1 hour and see. And I'm going to do this so I can do that. All right. And then put it so I can see my buttons. So it's okay now. I literally forgot to take the alt off. Does that help with the logging? Does that what does that do? Why does it move it down? Weird. I don't like that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. All right, so what do we have? On the 1 hour, we get a little bit more information. So we got a swing failure here, swing failure here. So price tried to pop up, couldn't do it, got rejected, got rejected, got rejected. And then once it got rejected here, made a bullish engulfing to drop down. So if you'd seen this from this key level, beautiful place to take a short from. Not this one, right? This one potentially, but you would have had to, you know, I guess you could, yeah, I guess you could have entered in here, but I don't know. I like to see a number of touches. And honestly, if you're trying to go for like a 1 to 2 and you took it from here, then you'd have had to put your stuff here. And then in order to make it a 1 to 2, right there. So you would have to hold on to that till about here. So, I mean, we're literally waiting for it to make another high because this was the first attempt, the second, both at the same level. Then you want to see what it's going to do the third time, right? If it busts through, then that's where you want to enter because that's where it looks nice and juicy. Not to mention we had the order here, which would have been our Q. Let me just our Q or entry zone technically, right? Let me just put that in there. So entry zone. And then you could have taken it once it rolled up here and you saw that beautiful bullish engulfing candle. I'm sure there was an imbalance up here that was meant to be eaten at the time. Is my auto off? Okay, turn it back on. And then you could have ridden it down to the next imbalance, which is the 1 hour and the daily. So nice. Okay. Which honestly, something I just learned yesterday. Like the reason why I'm drawing my expectation levels the way I am. So let's say you saw this bullish engulfing right here. You set your stop loss above this zone. Now remember, you can also add the one ATR on top of this to spread it out. And then you see this break here. That's the last higher high, right? So look where it went down to, like, without fail, right there. So you could have set that break area as your take profit. You would have gotten 2.56. All right, cool. All right, so slowly getting better at this, y'all. Anyway, so we did not, oops, sorry. We did not come in here with, this information in mind. We're down here. So what else is there to do? All right. So we've got this break right here. This imbalance still sitting. They chose not to eat that one, but they came to eat this one, which was closer to this break. So okay. And now we're in free fall. So looks like we're about to break this weekly. So let's see what the next candle looks like. A little consolidation. Yeah. So it's a week. It's still lower, but it's still weak. This break is good. So maybe, if we're going to continue the trend down, right? And we need confirmation. We're on 1 hour here. So if we continue the trend, this is here, we got this imbalance, then at least come up here to eat this, right? What I'm not seeing is any kind of a really juicy break from this area if we're going to come back up. So here's an option. This break is not the best. This is a breaker block. So let's see what happens, because right now, if this becomes like 1, 2, 3, and a green candle, maybe it's a continuation. We need to see it make a lower high and break down below here if I feel like it's going to do that. So I'm going to start doing this. Like, I needed to break this level with some feeling. Break it with some feeling. Look at it. It's weak. I'm going to do this. It's weak. It's not, you're not doing anything with it. So, okay. So let's see. So they're meandering about. So that doesn't tell me much. Coming up. All right. Ooh, we got a doji right there. Zoom in. So we got a doji, we got wicks. Still weak, but we're coming into this imbalance. So here's what could happen, because I don't trust that they couldn't break it here. Let's also see if this is like a SR flip area, something I should definitely be checking for. So we're right at the break. Let's see that. All right. And then drag that puppy over. I'm just using this break as a reference. So there's that, there's that. Here's a situation where it's hit it and gone back, hit it and gone back. Now we're kind of here, and we haven't quite busted through it yet. And here's some consolidation, rejected, consolidating, rejected, and then busted through. Okay, so let's say we have this SR flip zone area here, and let's make sure everything is nice and set up. Okay, so I'm seeing a weak break here, which is telling me they might be tired and they might be going back up. The only reason I would think like this would be a real thing is if they broke this lower high with some nice juicy candles, like they did here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Well, like, all right, let's run that through some more. Okay. This is kind of like an evening star, but I don't like all the weeks on it, so I'm gonna ignore that one. Okay. And bullish engulfing at the SR area. And we do have this guy, and there's still more. So given that this is like a swing failure area, you could potentially write it up. So let's say I am insane in the membrane and I enter here after this bullish engulfing. Let's go a little bit below this. It's a little dangerous because we have imbalances below here. And let's shoot for this 1 hour imbalance. Actually, what is that? 2.1. I know for a fact we should be able to get up to this level at least, order blocks, but there's also the imbalance. So if it's going to go back and do something else, let's see. Am I wrong? Let's press. Oh, you know what? Sorry, guys. Need to go down to the 15-minute. Do I see something that makes me feel like I can enter? Okay. So, order block. Let's make that a little bigger. Okay. We've got that big candle, a nice big order area here. So um, maybe we'll let this play out for another second before I actually think about entering, because this is a nice spot. Maybe we'll pop back down and go back up, and I might be able to get in a little earlier. Let's see. Next candle. Okay, so we have this candle. So you know what? I want to see it break this level right here with some strength. I want to see it break this level because I don't trust it. Okay. Feels like sellers are like stepping in. Oof, wicking it. That's a bullish engulfing. Bit of a wick on it. I don't feel good about this. Let me bring it up. Okay, that candle looks a little better, but let's see if it breaks this level. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, we're still hovering. Yeah, it's just consolidating. This is boring. There's a bearish engulfing, but who cares? Unless it's at like a key level, who cares? These things show up everywhere. We can't break bust past this. So I wanted to bust this, come back to retrace, and then I'll enter. Okay, so let's move this out the way because we're not in any trade yet. This is why it's best to check the lower time frame. Okay, so do we have a juicy break for the top? Not juicy, not juicy. That's juicier. Would have been the entrance, but no. Okay, so now we made a lower low, we made a higher low, and then a higher low. This is bearish, but it's coiling up. So let's see what it does. So if this is going to go down, then I would enter from here and continue down. All right. And let me get rid of this. It's because it's confusing me. And we're going to get rid of this because we haven't seen our entry options yet. Okay. And man, this thing requires so much patience, right? Ooh. Okay. That's better. Okay. Wow, that is quite a doji. Now that tells me sellers are stepping in. They're like, no, it won't go down. Okay, we're still hovering. Okay, haven't gone anywhere. Done anything interesting? See what would have happened if we'd entered here? We've just been sitting in this area, like wondering what the heck's happening. We need a clear reason to entry. No, I was about to say no, that was a clear reason, but it's not. Look at that. Came right back down. If this pops above it, but it is a beautiful bullish engulfing candle, though. Still haven't broken it because I said I wanted to break it first, right? There you go. See? That's an evening star. Wow. And that candle's pretty decisive. Barely any wicks on it. We might be going down. I don't know. But still nothing useful. All right. So for this to continue down, all right. So we're back into the SR area. We're still in the SR area. Is it going to bust through or what? Okay. See, still, that's a no. I haven't gone anywhere. Okay, let's bust it through. Okay. So if it's going to, so we have this break. This is the area we have this imbalance. And this goes better with the narrative that we're going down, right? So you've busted below here because all of this liquidity needed to have been hunted. So it's hunted. Now we can get in on our trade, right? Same thing happened over here while I wasn't paying attention. They hunted it and they hunted all of this, and now we can kind of get in on something. All right. So what I'm thinking is we have this order block here. We have this failed breaker block here. So my short entry is going to be, since this is so close, we got a QML. I'm going to try and set my short entry to about here, since we do know they like to dip above it. And then, sadly, my thing has to be all the way up here. It's gross. But my 1 to 2 gets me about there. All right. If it pops back up here, we are in like Flynn. Assume I've got a stop limit order here. Press play. Looks like I might have missed the boat on this one. All right, hold on. Definitely missed the boat. So maybe my analysis, this would have been a good place to enter from here. What would that 2R be? So maybe my analysis of this, beautiful. I should have taken this candle into perspective. No wicks, no nothing. It should have been that. And then 2R, 2, shut the front door. You've been right at this bottom wick. How fascinating. Well, I didn't do that, so something to pay attention to next time. Okay, so now we're making, let's zoom out. Have we hit, let's go back up to the 1 hour and reevaluate. Okay, let me take the FVG off, auto, and should probably check what the time is. I don't have you guys out here kicking it with me. All right, so here's a nice juicy break. Just make sure this doesn't go off. Area right here, and let me see if I can mock up my SR flip zone areas. Should be right around the break, so about there. So we have one rejection there, one there. Let's see if this one's strong. If this one's strong with the false. Okay, so I'm 0 for 0 at this point. My analysis of that particular candle was not the bestest in the westest. Maybe if I'd been looking at it on the higher time frame, just to find something. Oh. Because this told me, like, buyers were like, nope. Sellers step back in. This candle should have told me that sellers were like, they told buyers to go F themselves. And then this is where I could have entered. But hey, still learning. Okay. Okay. So now we're here. This is somewhat bullish. Is it losing steam? What do we have to play with? Still the potential entry all the way up here, right? There is a break here. It's not a bad one. So it could come back to here for a potential entry and then continue down to the SR flip area. Let's see what it does. If it comes back up here, then we'll consider entries, right? So let's do that. Okay. Still going down. Okay, we're in the SR flip area. Are you going? Okay, you don't even care about it. Okay. Okay, well, definitely missed the boat on this one. Well, I wouldn't have been in a trade anyway. Huh. Okay, so just let it do its thing. We're eating all of this imbalance. Looks like it's like we've hit potential other area. Let's see. Let's see. Rejected, 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 rejected. Okay. So here's another potential area for it to pop down to if it wants to. Probably one here. These things are like everywhere. Okay, so we've got this long wick, which is telling me weakness, the downtrend's weakening, and this bullish engulfing, which is actually a morning star. Yeah. So let's go to the 15-minute. Yup. All right. What are my options here? And let's go back to the 1 hour for a second. And was there a potential break for me to be aware of? See, that's why I like those charts I've been prepping for a while. Because here's my demand order block with the imbalance attached to it. Perfecto. All right. And then there's a failed order block below it. Nice. And we've got an SR flip zone. Okay. So this is a good spot to try and find an entry backup as long as we see the appropriate structure on the lower time frame. So let's go to 15. And so I can make this a little bigger for my oldish eyes. Let's see these candles. So zoom in on these puppies. And take the auto off and then put my balance thingy down. You guys think that's too busy, but at least I know there's a 15-minute one. Okay, so here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this to break strongly, retrace back down to at least this imbalance area for an entry, and then we can ride it back up to the next the next area of interest, which would be somewhere up here. So let's see if Price does that for us. This would be a long position, and I'd want to grab it someplace in the middle of this. And let's put my stop loss that, and let's go for 2. 1 to 2, so about there. Okay. All right. So let's see. Does price do what we want it to? Does it come down? Okay. It doesn't break strongly. That's a weak break, so it's probably going to continue down. That's a very strong indicator that sellers are still in control. But we are also at this area right here and the SR flip, so I need some more confirmations. I need to bust through it like it's going out of style. Okay, so still got nothing. And all right, that's a better break. So that entry would be right about still the same place. Now we just need price to come back down. Okay. What are you gonna do? Eating imbalances as you go. Okay. All right, so it's a lower high. We've just made a lower low. We just made a higher low, which tells me that things are turning. So I'm gonna set my stop limit order to this little imbalance down here, just above it. And let's see how price plays out. Okay, pause. So it didn't bother to go all the way down there, but it, okay, so price will go where it wants to go, right? So it didn't come back down to, actually it did, right in the middle. Damn, okay. Right in the middle, right there. Surprised it didn't bother to take that so close. All right. So actually, another way you could have entered into this one is once you saw it come down into this area right here, we had this bullish engulfing, then your entry could have been, and this is one of those situations where you had to watch it, right? Your entry could have been right here with your stop loss just below this thing and 2. If a 2 would have been here, and that seems, if it's going up, that does, you could take your profits there. But we had this level, which I feel like most price likes to go back up to. You could have set it for here, where this cluster of orders were. And then voila, you would have been in this trade for a very short time. Up to that wicked right through that section right there. It's at 2.5 hours. Okay. Whew. All right. So, um, and this is just with price action. I'm not even using any indicators. I'm just trying to figure out where I think price is going to go based off of its actions. And the moment it made this higher low right here, that's what told me that, yeah, we're going to go back up. If it had broke this, then we would have been looking for a short. All right, guys, I'm going to let that be for now. I hope that's helpful. It's not perfect, but it's one of these things where the more you practice, the better you get. So I know it's hard. I know. Don't give up. Okay. I'm not giving up. So you shouldn't give up. And I'm not giving up on you. So, if you have any questions or thoughts or about how I did that analysis, let me know because there's always a lot of things that I'm missing. And those things are the types of things that will get ironed out the more I do this and the longer and the more experience I get doing it. So don't forget that. You can't start out, nobody starts out at a 10. Okay. We all have to start out at one, and work our way up to a 10. All right. So don't do me a favor. Don't compare yourself to a 10 and you're at a 2. How is that a fair comparison? Sure, you can have conversations with a 2 and a 2. Makes sense. But a 10 and a 2? Come on now. Nah. All right, guys. I will stop it here, but you guys enjoy the rest of the day. Shakira, out.